going to be doing is we're going to be doing an oral language development jigsaw. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be describing a picture or an image. And what we're going to do is we're doing a careful observation. And we're going to be writing down what we observed. And what I'm going to do right now is I am going to show you an example of what I expect you to do when you're in your expert groups and you are observing your picture. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you on the board, you're going to notice a cartoon. Well, notice this is an illustration, it's not a photograph. And what I want you to notice is the language that I'm using and the way that I'm carefully observing this, what's going on in this picture. And so what I observed is there are two men in this picture. I observed there's one man on the left wearing a red shirt and he has his sleeves rolled. So what you're going to be doing today is you're going to be working with these terms over here. We're going to be very, very careful observers. And I want you to keep in mind these definitions. The first one is observation. And I put a man with a detective magnifying glass because that's what you're going to be doing, carefully observing. And observation is the process of watching something or someone very carefully in order to obtain or get information about them. And I want you to also notice another thing I did is I put the part of speech here at the bottom left corner of each poster and also where you could find that definition in our Longman's Advanced Dictionaries. The next thing I want you to keep in mind is this term inference. And you hear this all the time. I want you to infer. I want you to make an inference. And what inferences are is there's something that you think is probably true based on the information that you already know. Okay? And you'll notice that when I'm going to make an inference right now, I'm going to infer that this man here on the left is very angry at this man here on the right. And I'm going to infer that not because it says it in the picture, but because I can infer it from the very fact that he is inflicting violence on this man. He is punching him. And I know that in order to punch someone, you have to be very angry. And so I can infer that this man is very angry. And I can, okay, everyone, now that you have your number, what you're going to do is you're going to break up into your expert groups. And at your station, what you're going to find is you're going to find both a picture and a recording sheet. And when you get there, this is exactly what I want you to do. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to first observe the picture. And I want you to be going through these steps to think about the picture, to describe it. And then you're going to discuss with your group what you notice. The first thing I want you to talk about and notice is who is the central character in the picture, okay? And the second thing, what is happening in the picture? When is the action taking place? What can you infer and observe? Are there any facts in the picture? Do you notice any objects or realia that give you some information about when it is taking place? And the same for where is it taking place? What can you observe? And is there any other relevant information, okay, in the picture? And the most important, number 6, I put it in red letters, no speculation. Don't be guessing, what do you observe, okay? And at your group, you're going to find these cards. And what I want you to write on your card, after you all observed, after you've all discussed, is I want you to come up with this response frame. I want you to write your answers. And the first is, I want you to write what you see, and what you see is happening, and what is the time that this is happening, based on what evidence?
Well, I see, in my picture, there's a lot of people. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people.
Yes, Martha. I see 9 people in the picture too, and 5 of them are children, and none of them look happy. It looks like what's happening is they're going to have to go somewhere.
Yeah, the time when this is happening seems to be in the day.
Take turns explaining and describing what it is that you observed in your picture. And you already rehearsed this in your expert group, so you should be ready to share. And what we're going to do is we're also going to practice something called active listening. And what active listening is that when someone else is talking, you are paying amazing amount of attention to what's coming out of their mouth. You're looking at them with your eyes, showing that you're paying attention, and you're listening. You're not speaking, you're just listening and taking in what they're telling you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take turns with that active listening technique, and we're going to share out what we observed. And when everybody's done in your group of 4, then you can ask questions after everybody's had their turn. That way it'll give you a chance to really try to put all this information together. And as a team, what you're going to do is after everyone's had their turn, is you're going to write a narrative or a short story about how all these pictures fit together. What is the story that they are telling? And what you're going to do is you're going to then rehearse that as a group, and you're going to be ready to share it with the whole class. And it's going to be really interesting to see how each group comes up with something a little bit slightly different. And as a class, we're going to really build a very amazing knowledge bank.